And here it is, folks. Shiny new trailer and the name reveal for the Breath of the Wild sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. And I must say, it is looking mighty fine. Not only that, but we have a release date of May 12th, 2023. Now, when a big name game gets a lot of hype prior to release, I tend to view it with a certain degree of skepticism, cautious optimism, some might say. But that ain't the case right here, man. For this game, the cautious optimism is just plain old optimism. If anything, I am super excited about this, and that's mainly due to the fact that Breath of the Wild set some pretty strong groundwork for the series going forward. In a lot of ways, Breath of the Wild was an experiment to see if the original, more open-ended Zelda formula from the very first game on the NES could be translated to 3D. Needless to say, it was a resounding success. Critical reception, customer reviews, all top marks for the most part. And that's not to say there wasn't criticism, because there was. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, let's talk about where we are in the new game story-wise, and what seems to be going on in the narrative. So, Calamity Ganon has been defeated, but it turns out the creature that we fought in Breath of the Wild was just a manifestation of his will, a construct created from malice spilling from Ganondorf's mummified corpse, which we discover is hidden deep underground. Now, when we last saw old Ganondorf in Twilight Princess, our boy had taken a pretty nasty wound to the chest courtesy of Link and the Master Sword, and then the first Tears of the Kingdom trailer, before the name drop, we see malice spilling from his body via a similar wound and infecting Hyrule, the Guardians, etc. with evil. And in that same trailer, green ghostly apparitions appear to be pinning down Ganondorf and attempting to stem the flow of malice. There's a lot of speculation as to what these apparitions might be. Spirits of the Zonai, souls of past heroes, whatever they are. They seem to have taken a particular liking to a man Link, latching onto him and giving him powers that are presumably similar to those provided by the Sheikah Slate. We are then treated to a glimpse of numerous explorable islands floating high above Hyrule and covered in ancient structures. If the details are correct, in addition to traversing these new land masses, we'll also be able to explore the entire Breath of the Wild map. So it sounds like this game will be keeping us busy for quite some time, which for me is an automatic win. Because let's just be honest here, the only thing better than Breath of the Wild is more of it. Now, earlier I mentioned criticism. As with all games, there are certain aspects of Breath of the Wild as some gamers took a bit of an issue with. One of the biggest one was weapon durability. And if I'm being honest here, I wasn't the biggest fan of it personally, but not because I thought it should be completely removed from the game. I just thought it could use some small quality of life tweaks, a repair system for one. I mean, Link is a highly trained knight. With the right materials, he should be able to maintain his equipment, or at least pay a blacksmith to repair them. Also, a durability percentage in the menu would have allowed us to plan ahead in regard to weapon usage, especially when there were duplicates in our inventory. Picking the freshest weapon from the older ones from a pile of dupes could sometimes turn into a guessing game. These issues could be easily remedied in Tears of the Kingdom. So, overall, no big deal. Also, remappable in-game controls would be nice. Admittedly, the control scheme in Breath of the Wild felt a bit awkward to me at first, and I know exactly why. The jump and attack buttons harken back to the original NES control scheme, something that I haven't used in quite some time. I eventually got used to it, but the option to change the scheme in game from the outset would be nice. Again, no big deal. But you know what is a big deal? The rain. Every other second in Breath of the Wild, sliding down mountainside after mountainside after mountainside, losing time, progress, and patience. The pain. Now there are several routes Nintendo could take to remedy this mechanic. I'll call it that. I'm going to use a nice terminology here instead of saying what I would really like to call that rain. For starters, less frequent rainfall, would be a welcome improvement. Tools are another to help us, climbing while it's raining. Shuko, for example, otherwise known as Ninja Climbing Claws. Link could, borrow them from the Sheikah, since they're basically Zelda's equivalent of ninjas. He could also use an ice axe, or maybe he'll just use his flying bird surfboard thing from the Tears of the Kingdom trailer to just fly from place to place. Either way, the rain is pretty to look at, but man, it is the literal devil. It could give our boy Ganon a run for his money. And there's also the matter of traditional dungeons. Shrines were fun and all, but in my opinion, they do not compare to traditional Zelda dungeons. Places that served a more significant purpose to the lore. Places with their own individual histories that extended beyond their walls and affected the people of Hyrule in tangible ways. The Shadow Temple, for example, told us a lot about the Sheikah and the Hyrule royal family, painting them in a, let's say, less than flattering light. Then there was the water/lakebed temple, and Dodongo's cavern, places of great importance to the Zora and Gorons respectively. In Tears of the Kingdom, it seems that chunks of Hyrule are breaking away from the mainland and floating off into the sky. Maybe these seismic events will reveal some long-lost dungeons from Zelda's past. Who knows? Maybe the Forgotten Temple from Breath of the Wild will be among these floating islands and give us access to the remains of Skyloft, or the City in the Sky, assuming there's anything left to find. Heck, we might even see an uncovered Arbiter's Grounds in all its torturous glory. In any case, your boy is here for it. And I know y'all are here for it too. So, what are your hopes and dreams for this upcoming addition to the Zelda franchise? Are you ready to save Hyrule for the billionth time? I know I am. And y'all be easy. And I will see you next time.